Hello everyone, Dark Lord here. Today this is just a different video for me to show you. I'm just going to be showing you my World of Tanks arsenal. Something I've been meaning to do for a while now. And give you some information on how I play it. So let's load in and we'll get straight to it. The first tanks we'll show you will be World War II. Because I'm not doing anything, I'll just pop it co-op here to see. As you can see, here's my first tank, the BTSV. I have not long just got this, that's why you can see there's no experience on it and there's nothing been done to it. The commander I use is, well, people will understand the reference when they see it. Vegeta. For skill, you may notice he's not very much skills, but that's because I take from the other commanders. I use the commander who's the closest to rank 7 in terms of skill, or 6, substitute them with Vegetas, and then I use their skills to help get their commander XP up. That's a slow system, but it works out. If it's a higher tier lobby, I'll switch out for the maximum amount of skills that's located on the Cold War tanks commanders, which you'll see very soon. This is the BTSV. Next we have the Lago M38. Again, another tank I have not long just got. It's not being customized. I don't even have a commander for this tank, so that's unfortunate. Next we have the Christmas tank, the Fiat M16/43. As you can see, I've done some customizations, like the Scottish flag. I'm going to fly to Scotland. Let everyone know I'm Scottish. I'm tier 8 gamer now, but I'm still keeping the tier 7 on that. This shows you when I got it. Trust no one. Sometimes you can't trust anyone in this game. Alright. That's tier 3. Let's go to tier 4. I don't have any tier 4. Oh, that sucks. Tier 5? Well, there we go. I just got this from a crate, the Ripper, which is basically M4 Sherman. Not anything done to it whatsoever. I've got a small amount of XP, but that's because I used this tank just to see what it was like. I wasn't very fond of it, to be honest. So I immediately sold it. Now I just got it again for free. So that's lucky. Next we have the... I'm not even going to try and pronounce that because I'm going to butcher it like hell. But this is the French artillery. Done some customization. I have not... Okay. The first year I played World of Tanks, I played nothing but artillery. And it's 8 years since I've been 8 years into the game, and I've stopped playing artillery completely. I've customized it, granted, with a little slogan for enemies to aim here. Flying the Scottish flag as always. I don't even have a command. I think I have a commander for French tanks. Let me see. Who did I use for this? Ah, here we go. Turi Miljonovic. I hope I didn't butcher that name because she's one of my favourite female actors. Yep. There you go. Next we have a tank I got when it became Tank of the Month, the Bogtar. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name, but fuck it. I'm going to have to censor this message a wee bit. You can probably see this is the one tank I've not put a Scottish flag on. Instead put the Soviet Union flag on. Nothing special about that in such a way, because the tank's pure Russian. Except for the lettering on the side and the icons. Whoa! I don't think I've ever used this. No, I've customized it, I just never used it. Back in the... Oh fuck, I sound like an old guy. Back in the first year that I started up, this was highly popular because its armor penetration was very difficult today. Now these days it's got all these clubbers and freaking seals that like to batter its health to hell, especially artillery being more and more effective. I think Eclipse Gaming done a video about this tank, I'm not sure. You have to check his channel to find out more about that. Ignore that in the background because my ears are bleeding because of it already. We've got to tier 6, and this is where the fun tanks are. First off, we have everyone's pain in the arse, the Rover. I love this. I can see why people love it because it is so annoying, especially when it gets up to speed. The radioactive symbols. Thank you to all that serve. Rest in honour, glory. You think an American tank, but yet there it is there, flying the Scottish flag. Kind of natural in my way. I love the event of this. When you get the lunar event, and you're on the moon or the planet, and you're going around shooting lasers. These things are so much fun, especially when they jump and they've got no gravity whatsoever. So much fun. Next, we have a tank I'm sure a lot of people might recognise. I'm not even try to pronounce that because I can't go to butcher it. I got this for free. I completed the last year's event, which is complete all 6 seasons and get this tank for free. Personally, I haven't fired the missiles, which is kind of strange. I'll show you why, because in Modern Armour I use quite a lot of ATGM tanks. But I don't think it's bad. I think it's in the same boat as the Firefly. It's got a slight armor buff, I guess, and the missiles probably do a lot more damage. I've seen a lot of people do a lot of damage with this. And yeah. Oh, the commander. Oh, I forgot something. This is the commander I use for this tank. It is Leonard Lucky Hill. See if I can get a better view of him. World War II tank gets a World War II commander. I got to his BAR. I think it was rather fitting, to be honest. Nope, I see he's got the skills from Mila. Is that the skills from Mila? Yeah, that is the skills from Mila. Yeah, I was using him last. You probably saw the tank he was using, but that's alright. Next we have the A34 Black Prince. Black Panther. Fuck! Ah! I'm an idiot. The A43 Black Prince prototype. Shut up, David. I know you're going to message something about that. If it's Commander Gary. Couldn't think of a more British name, just came up with Gary. Yeah, I got this when it first came out. I've enjoyed using it. It's quite good than the standard Churchill or the standard Black Prince, especially that unique camel that's got on it. The Puck Man, and we will never forget. And flying the classic Scottish flag as usual. It's not bad. I would say this tank's a 10. I would say it was at least a 5, so halfway between that. Still good though. if you get the right customizations and the right commander on it, this tank could be very good in the right hands. Next we have the Tiger 217. I don't like using this tank for some reason. I've tried using it as effective other players do, but I just can't do it. I don't know why. I don't think I've got the right skills or the right commander skills in it. For the commander, I use... Oh, there he is. Everyone's favourite Halloween decoration, even though he's supposed to be jolly jolly. You probably can see what tank he's been assigned on Tate, so just ignore that for the moment. Yeah, there's the T1, the Tiger T7, the German tank flying the Scottish flag. The Bretagne. I think I've butchered that, but oh well. I like this. For a French Panther, it's very good. Fire in the hole. Why did I put that on the tank? And classically flying the Scottish flag. As you've already seen, the French tanks are piloted by the 2D commander of Miljonovic. This tank is surprisingly really good. I would give that tank a 10. I'd give that a 5 too, like the Black Prince. Probably could do May, but I need to play May to figure that out. Next. Yes, I've used this once or twice. It's one of the auto-loading French tanks, as you can tell. Built on a M4's body. The Sabathon freaking icons. And my classic We Will Not Forget. Or We Will Never Forget, sorry. Flying the classic Scottish flag. Don't put any customizations on it other than the supplies. I'll fix that one day. Get her into it. Next. I just got this tank yesterday, believe it or not. Part of the anniversary award. As you can see, it's completely untouched apart from the Scottish flag and the original trio emblems. Never been a fan of the T-34 tanks. Kind they're supposed to be big Russian tanks, but I was never a fan of the T-34. I had the standard T-34 88 and I sold that a while back. Oh, well, hopefully this one's better. Never know. I'll get into it. Next. The Japanese Tiger, the heavy tank number 6. I like this. Japan's no go. As you know, Japan's got the Oni tanks, or the Oppo tanks, whatever the hell they're called. But I like this one better because this works just like a Tier 7 Tiger. Its damage is worse though, but it is very effective if you know how to use it perfectly. Oh, the Japanese tank. Oh, the flipping Japanese flag's disappeared. I need to update that. Do that right now, actually. There we go. That's that fixed. Now, the commander. That's not her real name. That's one of my custom names, Naomi Yukirama. Just ignore that. Yeah, there's that. The Skoda T40. This thing has got really thin armor. I'm not even lying. I joined a session and got instantly killed like 10 seconds into the match by an artillery. The guy literally told me that he just fired a random shot. He didn't expect to hit anybody, and he hit me, and my engine went on fire, and I just blew up right there and then. So that's very unfortunate. Oh dear, ruined my experience with this tank right off the bat. still, it's surprisingly quick. Didn't save my life though, but still. The commander I believe I use is the 3D commander of... Nope. Ah, here she is. It's called Vera. Just ignore the tank she's on at the moment. Get to the other second. Hopefully I'll get some better games of this tank. Learn how to use its paper thin armour. Next. The Absolution. Please ignore the experience on this tank. I've used this tank quite a lot. I've had this since it came out. The reason the experience is all gone is because I've been changing experience to spend on other tanks. I had one very effective game on this when I was the last surviving tank against 7 tanks, and I managed to win the match despite the fact that I had a quarter of my health left. Unfortunately, this is very old footage. It was well 5 years back. I think it was 5 years back. 5 or 4 years back at most. It's been nerfed badly over the time, but this tank was such a beast. I love it so much. My favourite mercenary tank ever. I love this tank to high hell. On to the next tier. Tier 7. The T-28. Oh boy. Players hate me with this. As you can see, I've completely decked it in the Christmas theme. Happy Tankmas, the snowman, gingerbread man on the other side, the Scottish flag. And we already can who we use as the commander. Oh, I never showed you the commander for the other 2 tanks. God damn it. Show you another time. Now, that mark of excellence I've got on the side of the tank, you're probably wondering how I got that. If not, I'm going to tell you anyway. So stuck it. I was very lucky to get that, and very hacked, if you can call it that. I'm a tier 7 tank, and I got put in a tier 5 to tier 6 lobby. And I was the only tier 7 in the entire match. How broken is that? Just think about that. I am the only tier 7 against players who are just coming into the game. That makes no sense how that was happened. That's how wargaming messed up in the back then. That's how they changed the system to what it is now. But I was only tier 7, and I used this tank like a heavy tank because they could not pen me no matter what. And I racked up a massive kill streak of 10 tanks. Which is unbelievable if you think about it, but it did work, to the point that all the other players on my team were just hiding behind my tank and using it as cover. You could tell I was probably versing noobs because they didn't aim for the tank's weak spot, which is pretty open here. It's not the lower plate, it's actually right here in the top. Those side bits, you can aim there. If you consider yourself a crack shot, you can try and hit that little hatch underneath the gun there. That does quite a bit of damage. But yeah, one of my favourite tank destroyers, and players hate me when I drive it. The Super Hellcat. People say the normal Hellcat is the best. I like this one because I think it's just faster. It's got better armour. Slightly, a little bit anyway. I love the camouflage paint on it. That's a great touch. And another American tank flying a Scottish flag. Moving on. Now, I sort of don't like this tank, but I sort of like it too. And that's just ignore the Mila frickin' camouflage on it. I've used this a few times. I've quite enjoyed the gameplays of it until you get put in a higher tier session, and in that case you start raging. So far it's pretty good. Pretty good. Just wish it could have a bit of a buff for the side plate, not side plate, and the angled armor, because this thing cannot take a shot well. Turret armor is pretty good at least. This little bugger. How many times have I died to this? Now I've got one of my own. I hate this tank for how good it was in the past. None of the Panzer 5.4 is now the top tank everyone likes to use. This one's no bad either. As you can, I've got Krampus. We will never forget, and the Puckman symbol. So you'll see a lot of that in some of the tanks. The Scottish flag. Did I upgrade this? In the wrong way. Yes, I did. Probably better skills to put on this tab, but I like these ones best. And the Crafts Panther. I got this in a crate. Very lucky to get that. We've never forgetting the Puckman symbol, Scottish flag. I wished it did a little bit more damage. I think the main gun's too weak on this. Granted, this tank's mostly a wreck, and it's got really strong camouflage. If you turn it into a snipe tank, it can be a real pain, which you can see I've almost done slightly. Just get some skills from another commander that's got a sniper build, and then you've got a tank that's going to cause some problems. Next. Oh boy, the hammer. I got this from a contract, unlike anybody else who might have got it for free at some point. I've had that for very long, had a few games, pretty standard. This was very strong in the past. Now I think its weakness is too well known, and a lot of people use premium rounds these days. Still, it's not bad, I guess. For a Tiger tank in a tier 7, it's pretty good. Next. That's the Adler. As you can see, this is probably the one tank that's not got a Scottish flag on it, because it's got a Nazi flag on it instead. Honor tradition, I guess. Seeing as that has a freaking swastika on the back of it. How's the swastika, right? No, my bad. Let's ignore that. I like it. Its armor on the side does suck badly, but if you angle it, it does bounce a few rounds, and the turret too. But that big hole on the top of it, that's a big weak spot. Not bad though. Next, we have the Tiger 6100, the Russian. You can probably tell what team I was supporting. How the tank looks. Again, another tank with the Soviet Union design flag. I have barely used this, I'll admit that. The experience is so high is because I've had some very high ranked matches of it, and I've not had the chance to really enjoy it. But I guess standard like IS freeze and all that, it would suck against. Not bad though. Next. Yes, you want to. Another tank I got from a crate. Oh, and there's Bergita. Victory for Bergita! Oh, they got a flag on this, but then again, you don't exactly want a flag on a tank destroyer. When I first got this, I loved how strong it was. That gun, you put premium rounds on that and you get in a good spot, you're going to do a lot of damage. it makes up for the lack of turret. Absolute killer of a tank. Just ignore which country it comes from. Next we have the Chinese, Type 62. Funny thing, I got this a while back, sold it, and then I've just got an Air One back. For completely free. Which is awesome. Not really played much with it. Played one match and died like a minute into the match. By playing Hit and Run and Chicken Little. Which is basically going up to a heavy tank, shooting it to get its attention and then running away. Unfortunately, I did not pick my territory very well and ended up in an open field. It's very more unfortunate the tank I tried to shoot just happened to be a VK-100 that was firing premium rounds. Yeah. Oops. Don't do that mistake again. The Chinese commander I have, let's see, is Ling Zhao. This is her here. We'll see her again on the tank that she spotted on earlier. Moving on. And this, the Tiger. I've got mixed feelings about this tank, I'm not gonna lie. It's an auto-loading tank. I went for the auto-loader. I think I tried to change the auto-loader, to be honest. I like the livery, the camouflage skin on it. It really suits it. But I don't know. I think the tank's maneuverability just brings it down. I kind of it's a Tiger tank, but I think it would have been at least a little bit better. Personally, I think Wargaming is just getting dry with figuring out new tanks. I'd love to see a Tiger tank that really stands out. Next. Ooh, you're in for a surprise and all the ones you could probably say, well, I've got the T-77. Okay, I'm just gonna come out with it. The reloading on this thing sucks. It does a surprising amount of damage. It can deflect a few rounds, but that 30-second reload, if you fire all your shots, yeah, that sucks. Still, I'll use it. I'm not gonna stop using it. The Chrysler key. Funny thing, I got this from an event, 2 events back. Got it for free. And I think the last event you had got a chance to earn this, and I ended up didn't. And I got like half a boatload of freaking gold, which I'll show you what I spent that on later. I reckon what's stronger? Is the standard version of this stronger, or is the camo version stronger? Somebody get back to me on that one. I'd love to ken. As you can see, the Megadeth symbols, the radioactive emblems, and the flag of Scotland reigning high. I've got mixed feelings about this tank, to be honest, the truth. Probably because I've died a lot to it certain times. I'm glad I've got it in my arsenal now, but still I think it could have been better at some point. I reckon how it could have been better. I wonder if one thing that does get my attention is if they had to implement secondary weapon for World War II, like firing the machine guns. how would this tank work with that? Because it's got 4 machine guns. I'm pretty sure the 2 ones at the back are used for anti-air, because that's what they would really look like they could do. I think there's a Chinese tank that's got a tank gun system like that. It's like it's got guns at the back and it's like can shoot upwards or something. Anyway, next. Paladin. I'm not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of any of the AX series, actually, to be honest. The only reason I haven't sold it is because when you get some of the season things like the win 50 matches with or play as a heavy tank 50 times, getting a daily win with all your heavy tanks counts towards that. That's the only reason I keep this tank around, to be honest. I just don't like the Paladin or the Cavern AX, which is why I'm going to skip that the second I get to it, which is right next to it. And if it wasn't for the season thing, I would sell both of them straight away. How much would I sell these for anyway? Oof, 2.7. Still might sell them in the future if I get something better. So these two, their future literally hangs on a thread. Oh, the King Tiger. The King. I love this tank. I absolutely love it. I went to a history museum once and this was on display and I loved just to be standing near it. Gotta give it to the Nazis, man. They knew how to design and build a tank. Well, some tanks anyway. And this one might have had engine problems, but damn did it work. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Next. Oh, this. Yeah, I've not used this much. I think I've used it like once. The small gun inside it, that is basically a pea shooter. I'll get along to using it more in the future. Specifically since I've still got the season today. Hopefully it performs well for me. Ah, the Panzerknacker. I got this bad boy when it first came out. The first earn mission for the Panzerknacker, and I got this. And I have enjoyed using it ever since. As you can probably tell, the experience doesn't match what I'm saying because I've spent a lot of the experience. But this is a very good tank. This is one of the best auto-loading tanks I've ever come across. And even when you fire the first shot, it reloads really quickly. This is definitely a tank people should get. As you can see, I represented Team Tiger with this one. Beautiful, beautiful tank. Does a moderate amount of damage. Does have a bit slightly paper armor at some points. And its range could use a bit of work, but the right skills can benefit for that. Yeah. Great tank. Oh boy. If Charlie sees me with this tank, he'd call me an arse. He hates this tank. Especially when someone's using premium rounds. Which, unfortunately, I've used half my ammo as premium rounds. I can see why he hates it. I mean, this thing does so much damage. The 30-minute, 30-second reload, despite the commander having the reload skill, does bite this one in the butt a little bit. But if you pick your targets, you can do so much. Especially if you go for scout and artillery tanks, because you can pretty much one-shot them in one hit. Certain medium and heavy tanks, if you pick the right spot, you can pretty much blow their ammunition up cleanly. Beautiful tank. Ah, this one. Probably the only tank you'll see that's got the same custom flag. I love this. It's hands down, I just love this. This thing can take so much punishment. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for this one. I love it that much. Yeah, Tiger. Beautiful. Yeah, another point where Charlie's going to call me an arse. There's my Commander Krampus. First thing you notice right off the bat is the first thing's only firing premium rounds. Yeah, so you don't want me in the background with this tank getting a clear line of shot on you, as I am going to really mess you up. And with some of the sniper skills on the commander I use, which he doesn't have at the moment, yeah, this is the last tank you want aimed at you. Especially if you come against me, unless you've got a tank that can really get around my heavy shooting, or I get spotted really early and get taken out before I can get into a good spot. So yeah, there's that. I'd love to get the Scorpion G at some point. Hopefully I get it soon. This, my 2D Commander Mila. I like this version better than the standard version, the HMH, the AMX. I think it's just got better armour. I think it's because of the spaced armour in this, around it. Its manoeuvrability could use a slight bit of work. Oh no, though, I still like it. The tracks are really vulnerable, not gonna lie. The K91. I got this as a reward. Again, how you get to pick your tank. This is what I picked, the K91. Pretty much because I had the other two already. I don't think I've got one of the other ones anymore. The K91 2. I remember Clips talking about this tank a little bit, saying he's slightly surprised at this how good this one was, and was encouraging other people to get it. I went ahead of him and got it before he made a video about that, so that works for me. I saved money and time getting this. Very worth it. Yes. And yeah, the Soviet Union flag. You're going to see a lot of Russian tanks with that, so just ignore that. When did I get this again? Was this part of the season? Yeah, this is part of this is one of the season rewards from one of the last year's events. Never really properly used it. I think the first time I used it, I actually went AFK in the match and just sat in the. Came back like 10 minutes later, realised I left the game on, and I realised we had won, and somehow this tank survived. I chalked it down to just strong teammates compensating for my lack of involvement. So if you were a part of that game, my bad. The Kurovets one. I have never used this. I put the hangs on it, upgraded it a tiny wee bit. I've got a funny feeling what the side of that turret says, but I don't want to say it. If you're Russian and you know that, just try and ignore it. Yeah, hopefully I get to using this. I heard Kurovets is supposed to be a really good tank. Next. This one. The Chinese version of the Bulldog. As you can see, I have focused on maneuverability for this. Flying the classic Scottish flag as usual. Remember, honour and support our fallen heroes. Can I think of a good way to use this tank? I don't know, in this future I might sell it, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully I find some way to use it. Ah, the Alpine Tiger. This WZ-111, I like the design of it. Does great amount of damage for the Chinese tier 8. Its future, unfortunately, is probably going to be traded in when I get a trade-in event that I pay attention to. So that's unfortunate. Still, it's a great design on the camel. Who did that? Guy deserves a flipping medal. I'm sure some of you probably noticed when I'm circling around the tanks, you're seeing two tanks you might recognize. One you might recognize, the other one you might not. We'll get to them soon. Ah, the P Victoria. I got this as a reward from the Megadeth event. As you can probably guess, because it's got the full Salavan fucking emblems on it. Complete the Scottish flag. I played this once, killed 2 tanks, and was eventually knocked out by a tank destroyer. Ironically, I was knocked out by a Scorpion. So yeah, that's called karma. The Centurion is, well, it's technically Swedish, but the Centurion will always be a British tank. Lovely, lovely work in this. I love the blue and yellow design with the urban camo on it. A really nice touch. Ah, the Earthshaker. I got this for free, I just don't know when. But like the P Victoria, I've had one match with it. Lost it 10 minutes into the match. Only killed one enemy. Bunch of kill stealing pricks. And was eventually knocked out by an artillery. The GW Panthers they suck. I'm going to put no word around it, they just suck. I'm pretty sure some of you remember this bad boy. It was available for the season. There's my commander as well. Irony is something you kind of forget. A Swedish commander for a Swedish tank. This was the season award for what? Season 5 last year. I think it was anyway. This is what I got. This is the reward you get. They asked me why I've changed the wordings on the side for Foxy. I think I was doing something at the time and I just got it right. I think I was drunk actually when I started doing that because I've got already saying Foxy lady and all that, and I just got that stuck in my head. Yeah, used this a few times. Turret armor is broken on this, that's definite, unless you get them from behind or the side. That gun's probably the last thing you want aimed at you. Need to upgrade it a little bit more. Played 2 matches. One match I done nothing except to capture the zone. Second match I got 1 kill and got knocked out by another ML 1951. Well, you win some, you lose some. Still good to have a Sweden heavy tank at least. This one of the most favourite medium tanks in the game. Just ignore the commander. British commander with a custom name put on a Polish tank. That's a Polish tank, right? I'm not messing up. Oh, good as. I must admit, sometimes my knowledge of flags comes back to bite me. I've enjoyed quite a few games with this. I've lost all my equipment for some reason. Once I get this upgraded and probably get the unique shader for it, I think it's Fallout. Oh, hold on. I think my game just froze. Oh, there we go. Yeah, the Fallout shader and these equipment. And I might enjoy this a little more, like people say. It's quite good. Well worth the effort. The Trinity Mark II. I got this from the contract when it first came out. One of my first mercenary contracts I've ever done. Well worth it. This tank's surprisingly good. I mostly use it for a sniper build, to be honest. I think you got an earn challenge for one of these ones. I got that. I got loads of gold and silver for it instead. Flying the classic Scottish flag. I quite enjoy the Trinity. Doesn't compare anything to the Absolution though. That's going to be my best mercenary tank ever. Moving on. I don't have any tier 9. Oh, that's a surprise. Tier 10. The T-58 Heavy. Yes. This was an award for a season. I think it was anyway. Real fun to use this. Slow, and that turret does stick out quite badly. It's one of the best tier 10s I've ever had. And I know some of you could see it. Shut up. I'll get to it in a second. Done with the classic Scottish flag. All shall rot. Quite like it for a tier 10 tank. This, I'm pretty sure people can recognise where this comes from. Yeah, this is a really good tank. People say it's shit, it's rubbish. It's not. I like it. The unique camo that came with it, as well as a few luckies that also got this tank for free. There, I rub that in people's faces. Free tier 10 tanks, a free tier 10 tank. Beautiful. Again, an American tank ridiculed with a Scottish flag. Fun. Here comes this. From the comment section, this will get me some negative comments. Call me a bitch, and I get for using this. I got this when it first came out, so yeah, I'm mad at those players. Just comment away, I don't blame you. The Centurion AVRE. Kind of. I'm not going to even say anything about this tank, because I don't think I have any right to say anything about it. players already ken about it, they just say shut up and get off it. So I will. The Murat. I played this once and I didn't last very long. I got instantly shot by what's it called? Drum Tiger, and it literally killed me in one shot. I lasted a minute and a half in the match. I didn't even get a shot off. I just got instantly one-shotted. Granted, my camouflage could have done some work and some skills. I'll get rid of that one day. Trust no one. Next, the OBJ 780. I like this for a tier 10 tank. Again, another tank I'm not going to say anything much about. I just say I enjoy it as a tier 10. Very effective. If you angle it right, this thing will do really well for you. Just word of warning, do not let them shoot that little bit of the engine there. That can set you on fire if you're not careful. Last season's reward. I think it was last season's reward anyway. The 114 SPT. This is a very broken Chinese destroyer. I think I've used it once. That once match I got 2 kills. One of them was a GW Panther, which for some reason was running across the map. Probably a troll or something. And the last kill I got in it was a mouse, where I literally one-shotted his ammo rack. Boy, that player was pissed. Still funny though. Centurion A45. Centurion. What the hell? Oh fuck it! I'm not even gonna say it. I don't like this. A lot of players say this tank's rubbish. I have to agree with them. It says it does that amount of damage, but I've never seen it. Just ignore the commander. I just put that as a joke. This tank is probably going to get sold in the future if I don't improve on it. Hopefully it does get better. The pride of my collection. Gave me the experience, just ignore that. I've been spent in experience to rank up. Earning this was a royal pain in the ass. Granted, in these day and age, the machine isn't as effective as it once was, but this is still one of the best earned tanks that make it so much worth it to have it in your collection. I'd never sell this, ever. Pretty much because how much of a pain it was to earn. Granted, you can just buy it back, but I'm not even going to bother. How much would you get for this anyway? Yeah, definitely not worth selling it for that amount. That'd be bad. I use Major Dutch Allen. Major Butch Allen. Whatever the fuck. Oh, whatever. Mercenary for a mercenary tank. There he is there. Well, that was Butch Allen. I got it right. The Ruthless. This is basically an FE 4005. That's all I'm going to say. It's an FE 4005. Just reskinned. It doesn't have a massive head. I like the double flag ability though, that's cool at least. Yeah, this is just a reskinned FE 4005. Cold War, we start off with the Era 1s. First we have this little Scorpion. I once got this to go 111 miles an hour. across the map. That was insane how fast this tank can get. Alright, to give you a little information about Carmilla and what I do with this. For Escalation 1 tanks, for the west side, I use Carmilla. If I get any 3D commanders, I'll change that for, like, I'll keep Carmilla for certain tanks nations, like kind of French nation or the American or British. But for the moment, Carmilla is used to operate every single Western Alliance tank, such as the Scorpion, T95E2, and the... Oh, you'll see that. You'll see. I don't use this as much as I like. I mean, if I want to get speed around the map and just be a royal pain. Cold War's a lot different. I'm just going to get that said in World War II. Just to give you a heads up if you've not realised this yet. In Cold War, even if you didn't detect the enemy, you could still see them across the map. And if you've got the right tank, you can shoot them from across the map. Cold War camouflage and hiding in foliage is very much needed if you want to snipe people. So think about that very closely when you're picking your camouflage at the tank you're using. Awesome. I haven't done anything with this tank. I've not long just got it. In fact, I think I just bought it actually. I'll get around to messing around with it. Hopefully it shines up to how much it's been hyped up for. This, as you can probably tell, another team I've been rooting for, Team Ragnarok, flying the Scottish flag. Okay, the whole transform thing for the shooting or driving can get a bit confusing a few times. Don't get me wrong, I like it. It's a sibling tank, the T95 E3 is still better than it though. Better than it by a long shot. So this isn't a bad little clubber. If you can find the right spot, that is. I haven't used this yet. I'll get around to it. Try and see if I can get the French Leclerc. It's always best to have the Alliance tanks. Get around to that. I got this tank when it first came out. The very first season, I believe it was. The Flying Scot. That actually irritates me. Sorry. Right. If you want a British tank and you want to have the Flying Scot or something on your symbol, you go look for it. You wouldn't find it in the British tanks. You go in the American tanks and you'll find the Flying Scot there. That makes so irritating to see that. I wish they'd changed, make the Flying Scot available for British tanks, because that would be so much better. Flying the Scottish flag as usual. The Mark of Excellence, now that was... When did I get that again? It was after the season I got it. It was a match. I was the only survivor again. And I basically won the match. Thinking how? I had no ammo. Yeah, I still won the match. Try and think that very clearly. There's 4 enemy tanks left. They've probably got ammo left. I had none, and I won the match. Try and figure that out very closely. And you'll think that Mark of Excellence on the side of that tank, I deserve it. And you'd probably be right. I haven't used this, so I can't really talk about it. Tis but a scratch. Very berserker, muscle bound my way. I'll get around to it eventually. The Sentinel. Been out since Cold War first came out. One of the first premium tanks that did. I'll see, I'll just come out with it. I like it. Need to get the skin for it, but I like this. More people should get this. This is worth it. The spaced armor does give you slight protection. It makes it all the way worth it. So if you've not got this tank, I would advise getting it. Yeah, I got this tank when it first came out. Flying Team Ragnarok as usual with a Scottish flag. I've seen people use this more of a scout tank than a tank destroyer. So there's that, because this basically looks like a bulldog. Some people use this as a tank destroyer, firing from range. Other people will get nice, close and personal with the tanks and just light them up. Everyone's got their own playstyle with this, I guess. I like to keep a distance. Everyone, as I said, everyone's got their own playstyle with this tank. I think it makes it one of the few tanks that you can choose what playstyle you want to use for. That's what's made this tank slightly unique. I don't think it's World War II variant though. Yeah, that was stupid on Wargame Inspired, put that there. Oh boy, I'm sure a lot of players have nightmares about this bad boy hiding in the trees. You can probably guess how I got that. This one was earned authentically. I fired every one of my rounds and killed 7 tanks. Strangely enough, I was the only one in my session that actually killed a tank, which makes no sense. The FE 4005. People say that this tank needs nerfed or it needs to be put in a different class because the gun's too powerful in this era. No, if the gun's too powerful, then I suggest you do the same thing to the Russian OBJ. Because this is literally the only tank that can counter that. So stop whining about it, just play the game. I hate getting shot by this tank too, but I don't care, I still play it. I will admit I've not used this tank, I've only been spending experience on it, so I can't really talk about this one. Or this one. Or this one. This one, however, I can. The T55A, I got this from a trade-in. I traded in the, ironically, an Alpine Tiger that I got, which is kind of strange. I got the Alpine Tiger twice, and I traded one of them in, and I got this. I got another Alpine Tiger for free a couple of months later. Won it from a chest, believe it or not. The T55A. I think it's better than T44, to be honest. Lower down, its gun's a lot more stronger. I think it was stronger than its T50 counterpart. What's the other one? Oh, I've not got it. Wait, have I got it? No, I don't think I've got it. Anyway, I like this. I'll use it more in the future. You get a better reading for it. This, I can't say anything about this because I've never used it. So sorry if you're expecting me to say something, I just can't say anything because I've never used it. So, my bad. Oh, this. Yeah. You can probably guess what season I got this from. This is one of the best heavy tanks to use for the East in the Era 1. Not with that skin on it. No, they use that. That's. If you want to be suicidal, go ahead and try and stay in cover a lot, because this makes you stick out like a sore thumb. I use a. I think I use a Phantom of Fallon for the Tier 1 Era 1 Eastern tanks. If people get offended by that, shut up, I don't care. I think she's on the OBG 268. I'm going to get to that in a second. Yeah. Definitely one of the best tanks you can get for Era 1 East heavies. Yeah, there she is. This tank, as I was saying, if you nerf or put the FV4005 in a different era, like say you put it in the Taunt era, then you've got to do the same with this. Because even though it says 850 damage, this tank does a lot more than they say it does. Bloody broken the amount of damage this thing can do. But then again, it is a Russian tank, so there's no surprise there. Taran 4, I've never used this, so I can't say anything about it. Major Butch Allen. I'm going to come out with it. I don't like this. I hate this tank. I never use it. I kind of say I got experience. I only use this because of the season, to use a 50 light tank and tank destroyers. If that season wasn't there, like the other tanks I mentioned, I would sell this in a heartbeat. Stupid designy tank. Right, onto the Taunt era. RDF LT. I bought this when it first came out, so that was the season pass. I like this. It's small, it's fast, it's nimble. Gun damage sucks a wee bit. Every time I look at the front of it like this, I just see like it looks like it's got the head of a Dalek. It does a wee bit if you look at. See, there's the gun just representing the eye stalk, and there's like the dome head. But yeah, this is good. I like the way this one moves and operates. And its armor sucks, however, but you don't exactly want to be standing still with this tank driving around. This auto load is satisfactory, I guess. Not a bad design. So yeah, I like this. Props for this one. The Leopard 1A1. Players can probably guess with this season came. This was the second season of World of Tanks. Equipped with its unique shader. Lovely work on this. Good on forest maps. If you don't get a forest map, then try and look for something that's got trees. Give yourself a wee bit of a chance. The VT. Now, your first thing you're going to notice about the VT2 is it's running purely premium rounds. I've found out that the best way to use this tank is with premium rounds only. It works so much better that way. Now, if you play in co-op mode with other players, I would recommend you warn them that this, because your counterpart tank's going to be doing the exact same thing, and players are just going to rage when they've come against a tank, and it's just going to get shot by premium rounds. It's a real pain. The Farad. A very handy tank if you need to penetrate a tank 225 times with a gun. The machine gun on the side of that really helps. I can't leave much reviews of it. I think I've had like 3 matches with it. Hope to increase that in the future, hopefully. You'll see the commander I use for that, and eventually. I use her for all the Western era detente level tanks. I just got this, so I can't say anything about it. Oh, the Mobot. So fast for a heavy tank to fly around the map. I remember the first season when I first got this, I was in a season where there's like just an army of these driving about. And on the enemy team, somebody had like an Arctic Hiss or something, and they killed one of these with one shot from full health. I remember that match so well. I was driving next to him, and everyone in the chat just hears me shout, "Holy shit!" That guy got killed in one shot. And you didn't even see the turret go flying, so it was like a perfect shot in the back end of the tank that just killed it instantly. I guess what ATGMs are meant for, at least. Still, for a heavy tank, its armor does suck. It's almost on the same level as the main battle tank 70. The MBT-80, what are the two? Oh, this. Got it when the season it first dropped. The armor protection on this tank is really broken. I think it's been nerfed a wee bit, or the tanks have been buffed a wee bit to get around that. But yeah, if you don't get the right penetration angle on this, you're in for a world of hurt. With the prototype of the Challenger, this still remains a very good tank. If you've not got this, I would recommend you get it. Another tank that definitely needs to be getting. The Leopard 2 AV. If I got the skin for it and some better and the right commander skills for it, I think I'd enjoy this tank a lot more. Probably use it a lot more too. People say you should use this as a tank destroyer. I'm not sure. The skin, maybe, if it was a jungle map. But I think this tank works more like a medium tank. It's got some pretty good armor at the front, slightly at the side, but not at the back or the rear, anywhere near the rear or the back of the turret. Could be better at least. Still, could be worse. The Chieftain. You could probably guess I'm on my way getting the Challenger. Can't wait to get my hands on Britain's main battle tank. I'm going to Scottish theme that tank to hell. The Chieftain, not a bad tank. Never got the World War II variant. You see a lot of players using this. Well worth the effort to upgrade this. Especially now that they've changed the whole experience loadout thing. Well worth it. Oh, there's my commander, the Gladiator. Can't pronounce that name, so I'm not even bother. The M50. Now, this was purchased. I mixed feelings about this tank. I think those guns need a bit of work with a reload. Granted, it is slow to reload. It's supposed to be that way. And the premium rounds on this are bloody broken, as you can pretty much tell that I'm firing. They can set fire to an enemy really easily. So if you can get a good shot, you've got to get the angle right too. This is a tank that requires patience, accuracy, and well, control, really. This tank is, well, it may look plastic, but it's nothing but plastic. The weakness is the cupolas and sometimes the SAM turret, but this thing is broken when it comes to causing damage. This lack of turrets is only a weak spot, and the camouflage on it sucks. But if you can get in the right spot where the enemies can't find you, and you fully utilize that barrage missile on the top of it, this thing will cause so much damage. I believe once I've done what, 14,500 damage once, and that's when firing all my missile barrages and the gun at the same time. So yes, this is definitely a tank to get part of the G.I. Joe collection, and also that's even a bonus. I haven't used this tank to say anything about it. I'm pretty sure you've noticed my Call of Duty Santa Claus. I use him for all detente level Eastern tanks, which isn't much, as you can see. I've only got 2. That number will soon grow one day. I'm pretty sure you could probably guess where I got this. I bought this from the store, completely decked out in Russian themed. We've got a mark of excellence, Liberty on the side, front turret, and not even going to pronounce that because I'm going to make people angry. The mark of excellence was got in the first match I played, where I got 6 kills and won the match by capturing the zone. Was able to block 7,000 damage as well. So that's the highlight of this match. I've not had very good matches with it ever since. But yes, not bad, not bad. Oh, this, the Arctic Kiss. That's not her real name, Sophia. That's just the name I gave her. I use an Israeli commander on this tank. I use her for the Major Butch Allen you saw on the T100. He's for the independent countries era 1. I use Sophia for detente level independent countries. The Arctic Hiss, as I've mentioned in the past with the MOBA there, the ATGMs on this can be broken if they get the hit. The most unique thing on the Hiss, which is kind of weird, it's got 2 barrels and it fires both barrels at the same time, but it does not do double damage when it hits. It only do a single shot of damage, which is weird. You think it need times 2, but I think the double shot makes up for that. So like say if you just had like the one gun, it would probably do like half the number of damage it would do. So it's great 2 shots to benefit for that. Very quick. The maneuverability can sometimes be its downfall, especially with the tracks. Armor wise, it sucks. Don't stop when you've got this. The only time you need to stop is when you want to fire the ATGMs, and I would suggest you get the hell out of Zo before you do. I never got the standard hiss. That was the one tank I missed. You also notice I've not got the light tank, the OBG light tank. That's a season I missed, unfortunately. You can pretty much guess where I got this. I've played it once. Wasn't fond of it. I don't think it ever got buffed either. That's one of the problems with the tank, I guess. I would use this in the future. I mistakenly thought that bit at the front could be used as a ram. That was not the case, and I tried to ram a heavy tank. Yeah, that was not a good point. And the guy just turned around to me. He actually shook his turret left and right to say, no, you fucked up, and then shot me dead. So yeah, that sucked. You can pretty much guess where I got this. Literally one of the season rewards from last year. I haven't used it, so I can't really say what it's like in battle, other than the fact that it's got a T-72 turret and a leopard body. Oh, the McGurk. And there's really tank. Used this once. Got a sweet camel livery on it. Teaspoon of scratch. It's got an air livery on it, but I can't see it. I think it's underneath the armor. I don't like it. I know there's a lot of hate for Israel at the moment. I'm not gonna say anything about that. But that's not going to do this. I just didn't like this tank. T-55 Enigma. I've used this, and again, this is a tank that's a little on the border between and hate. The couple of times I have used that, I'll try and upgrade how many times I use it in the future. Hopefully I improve. What the hell is this again? Oh, that. Just ignore that. Air free. The main battle tank 80. You can pretty much guess where this comes from. Launch.nuke. There's my Milos Yonovich commander. I use her for all escalation. Oh wait, I got the freaking. I got them all mixed up. This is the Tatar commander. I use the Gladiator Lassie for the escalation. Mila Yonovich is all for Western detente level tanks. Such an idiot. She has a full set of skills. Not at the moment. The full set of skills are in their commander. And I like using her as a commander, especially in this era of tanks. And I'm looking forward to getting more tanks in the future for her to use. The M1A2, the American Abrams. I got the shader for this ages ago, and that's me like 2 months ago. Just finally got this. It was a bitch. Let's see where am I about the upgrades on this? But yeah, I'm definitely getting there in terms of upgrades. So yeah, I got the American heavy bad boy. Fun part. Now this, I have very mixed feelings about this. I think it just stands out to too much of a target. I think it was given an Abrams body and a mix between a Challenger and a freaking Leopard's turret design. Yeah, so I'm mixed with this. I've put Flying Scott stuff on it there just to try and make me feel better about it, but that didn't work. Ah, the BMP Terminator. The Russian BMP. Well, you can pretty much guess who the commander is. He's all the Dayton era Eastern tank commanders. Again, an air tank that's useful for getting to penetrate 225 shots. That machine gun needs a fire rate update because that should be fire faster. It's very strange that the BMP2 fires faster than this does. I don't know if that's accurate or below. The actual tank itself. Yes, I think that could be fire better. And this, as you probably guessed, this is the tank that's over there. I like this. I like the damage this thing can do. I like this. It can take a lot of damage, and I like its speed. Its armor is very good as well. It's definitely a tank I like using in the future. Let's get this back to normal. And there you go, that's my World of Tanks arsenal. In terms of future tanks, if I had to guess, the ones I would like to see in the future, I would love to see the Challenger 3, the Abrams X, eventually, hopefully we can get around to it, the T-14 Armata, and the BMP Terminator. I would love to see them make appearances in this game. But that's going to be a long time before we even see any appearance of the tanks show up. If they implement a rocket system, like say artillery for Cold War, if I had to guess, the HIMAR would probably make an appearance. I can't pronounce it, but whatever that tank is the Russians use to run, it's got the T-72 body, it's got that massive rocket pod on top of it. I guarantee that would probably be used. If that's the case. If they did put the artillery system in the game, they could just bring that tank in and just have it launch 80 GMs. Because it would work out for the tank. That's all I've got for this today. This is my World of Tanks arsenal. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry for droning on and on and on. Comment what tanks you think I should keep, what tanks you should get rid of. And I'll see you again in the futures. Probably not in this game. I won't broadcast this game. So you all have fun. See you in the future.